can't get the. It must not be a 3/4.
What do you think it is?
Oh, the socks didn't want to go on it.
It could be really rusty. So because this engine's longer, the linkage for the clutch on the transmission is too long. So we got to take that the linkage off, and we might grab it off the other truck and put it in here. He's seen if he can get it off underneath the cab because it's kind of a tough place to be.
Pretty sure it's metric.
We have an 18 over here. You want to try an 18?
Is that bigger than 3/4?
Do you need a bigger or smaller?
Bigger. It's probably a little bigger than 18.
So it's basically right underneath the cab on top of the transmission. A little difficult to get at, but he's going to see if he can get through there before we put the shifter in. So we get the clutch assembly hooked up, the shifter put in, then we can do the drive line and a few things. And I got universal joint to replace. And yesterday I fought it a lot, but I had to remove the yoke right here on the back of the transmission. I've never fought a nut so difficult as this one. So I had to take a torch and I had to cut pieces off of it. And what's very nice is I didn't jack up any of the threads. So once I finally get the nut off, take this off, that 10-speed transmission, took this yoke, and because this is 7.5 inches wide, this is 7 inches wide. 7.5 inches wide, they don't make a universal joint that goes
Doesn't matter if it's deep or
to
long
both.
or
So
short.
put this thing on. Here's the new universal joints, and then new seal for the back because this one got toasty when I was using the torch, and it's best to just change it. So yeah, that's what we got going on. A few things, but and then we were kind of tackling a little bit of the fuel lines. We got to put the starter on. We got to put the fan. A few things up here, and then we'll put the radiator on, put the brackets to support it, put the air cleaner on, put the tubing on, and then we got wiring, fluids, and a few other minor details, and we should be good to go. I think, I hope. There's more to the list, but so far that's a rough idea. So you see the difference? This is off the red Peterbilt, and you see how long that is? That's about the same length that I took off the driveline. Oh yeah, let's use this one. This one's gonna go in here, over inside that place.
What's going on here? Make it a little closer. There it goes. Do you need it?
No, you said the lock washer. I don't need it.
What lock washer?
You needed a lock washer. It's by the slide hammer out.
Oh, well, it was just a washer that fell down somewhere. Nothing, I'll lock it in, but that was. This was right here, I think.
Yeah, that was right there. So they probably had a shift, but what's it do?
This is the shifter.
Yeah, okay, what does it do
I
though?
just put it in. Well, when you're shifting,
Okay, no, you're too fast.
No,
Slow down.
You want to be safe.
I can't understand what you're talking about.
Push the shifter forward and watch carefully here. See, I pushed the parking brake in.
No, Nick, that's the
There.
air supply. Parking brake's the red.
The red's, it's a drive line.
No, it's a motor, Nick. Okay.
Did you just call us a motor?
I just called it a motor.
That's an engine.
No, it's a motor, Nick. Okay, anyways, what is the problem?
Someone's knuckles are going to hurt really bad when they go into, what is that, first gear?
I think that's ludicrous speed.
Not low, first.
No, it's ludicrous speed, Nick.
Could be second. We need a different shifter. One with a little S to it. Or we can grab the old one and see if it fits, but clearly that's going to be a problem. This came off the beater Peter, the 378. So, we'll go grab the other one, see if their one's better. But I think it looks all the same. The one over there will throw the hand in the dash.
Yes.
I should just order one. I have to buy it at an official. Here's the old shifter. So you can see it's got some little wobbly doodaddies there. But this is the old 10-speed shift head on it, so it doesn't have the 18-speed. So I'm just gonna take all this off, and we should theoretically just be able to mount the other one on it. So should be a simple unthread, thread-on swap. We still gotta run new air lines to the transmission, because we ripped those ones off. I'm making a mess of these cords. Get off there. Almost got it. Almost got it. There we go. Okay. We'll put that aside somewhere for a rainy day. There we go. Just randomly slipped off a cap.
Good? Yep. Well, that's a good feeling. Driveline is perfect. Like it was meant to be. What do you think, Nick?
Shaft.
You see that?
Shaft.
No way.
Hang on, I'm working on the motor.
Anyways,
After this, we should be able to put the bonnet on. Before we got to put
Stop.
the rad's got to go on
stop
before
it.
the bonnet.
No.
And then
Anyways, the drive shaft is on, and it is the right length. And you guys are probably thinking, why didn't I just change the carrier bearing as well? Well, I spun it, and it felt really good. That's how I kept it. Why change it when it's really not bad at all? And when it gets bad, we'll change it. But for right now, I ain't gonna change it. All right, good. Now, the next step I think I'm gonna do is put that starter on. And I do not know why I put the creeper away. What do you guys call this thing? I always call it the creeper. I mean, it doesn't really seem like a creeper to me. It's quite nice and pleasant. Sometimes it doesn't want to roll along, but why do they call it a creeper? It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, you don't really creep along, you skid along. You shove yourself along, you know? But each their own. I have a light right here. There we go. We're gonna run this side. I'll put that there. Let's put that starter on.
I tried the old shifter right there. It still takes your hand and puts it in the dash. So one way or another, we got to bend one of these. So I think I'm going to take the one out of the beater Peter. It's a little better. The rubber bushing at the bottom's in better shape, even though we welded this end of it. Anyways, and we're going to try to bend like an S out of it a little bit, just kind of so it's up and over. That way you're not smacking your hand against the dash. So we got to press, we got to die. Let's see if we can get a bend.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, let me see, make sure this is straight. Yeah, I got, is that the shiny? No, we need to go back a little bit. Sorry. It's because this is where the rubber rides, so it needs to start like right there, yeah. Right there.
That's where you want it?
Yep.
So I think what we should do,
It might even just like it like that too. I mean,
well, you usually want it like straight up and down, but we could bend it like that, stick it in, see how it feels, and then we'll curl the other end straight. Because otherwise your palm's gonna be sitting like this.
well, currently, I mean it definitely got it away from your dash here, so I'm not going to hit my hand there. I can't get it to go in this second gear right here, or whatever that is. I think was that first, second, third, fourth, fifth in the low, and then of course you have your splitters and everything, but reverse right there. But I'm just guessing from where it goes in this one that it'd end up right here somewhere. But see the angle? It's obviously tilted back, which honestly it's not bad. But we've needed to probably put a bend in this right here somewhere and straighten this out, or cut it and re-weld it. So we'll see what Lagarms thinks. I think the easiest thing is just I'll cut it and just re-weld it at the angle I need. That way I know it's right where I want it. Pretty good. Grind her up a little bit. No one will ever know, except for you guys. I haven't said that yet. Okay, let's test it. Yeah, liking that. Wish I could get it in that gear. I need to be able to roll the truck forward a little bit because it'd be nice to get in that one because I can see how close it gets to that parking. Because that popped out. Oh, that's in all the way. Yeah, it's out all the way right now. I think it'll be okay. If we can adjust it later if we need to. But for now, that's squared up with this shaft here. And so I think we're in business. All right, good job, guys. There we go. Got an easy Jake on here, so we'll have a switch there to flick the Jakes on and off instead of, where are they at up here? Oh, engine fan. I don't think this engine didn't have Jakes on it. I don't think it did. Well, the new engine does. So we'll have to put that switch in. So we'll wire that up to here. That way we can flick the Jakes on and off real easy with the flick of your thumb. It's nice.
Next step that I need to do is put the fan on the engine. But here's the problem. The fan that we have for this motor, it's the right size, but it's fiberglass and it's breaking apart. Yeah. All of that is shattering apart. So I don't want to use that. But we do have the fan that came off of this truck and it looks really good. But the problem is the bolt pattern will not match. So my plan is I'm going to make an adapter to bolt from the front of the engine to that, and then we could put the radiator on and hook everything up. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Thought about it. I know what I want to do. I'm going to do it. So stay tuned. I didn't have any sheet metal that was thick enough, so I'm using this. you guys think? Now I just got to drill the other holes for the fan, bolt those together, and I think we got a good working fan. Sweet. Nice tight fit. I love it.
Yeah, good job on the motor.
Engine.
Oh, sorry, engine. That's right. So what's going on is something changed. Obviously, there's a different motor, engine in here. And even though we measured, leg arms measured the radiator mount with the engine mount on both trucks, they were the same distance. So we thought, well, theoretically, this engine should be able to go right in with the fan in the same place with the radiator. But something is a little different somewhere, and the fan is just basically touching the radiator core. So we need to change that, which means there's a spacer, an aluminum spacer here, and he's going to shave it down and take out about an inch or more. Get this fan back as close as we can without hitting the AC compressor, alternator, or your harmonic balancer. If we can get it pretty close to those, but where it won't touch, and then clear the radiator, we're golden. So it's just kind of try to see if we can make some space. Otherwise, maybe trim the fan, which you guys would think it's a great idea, right? No, bad idea.
Is there anybody want to join the fan club? It's a breeze.
All right, well, we flipped this adapter plate that he made around, which pushed the fan back a little bit. Then we cut the spacer down a little bit, as much as we think we can do. The difference, basically, we just measured is that spacer was not on the other engine, but it needs to be on this one to clear all these. So we might have freed up enough room. We'll see if this works. If not, we're going to need probably a different fan. But we'll try this. Okay.
Go down a bit. Down.
So here's how we're sitting. Radiator's on. Still tight, but we've got enough room where I think we can get a belt around. If for some reason we have to change the belts, which will happen someday, you can get them around the fan and out to get new belts in. This will have to go forward a little bit. It is adjustable. Leg arms is making brackets, as you can see, because the old Peterbilt, the 378, radiator mounted to the cab, firewall right there. The 377, which is 10 years newer, mounted to the Cat C12. And anyways, this block doesn't have the same bolt holes and locations for those brackets to hold the radiator on, and we don't have room to go up to the firewall. So he's rigging up some stuff here, so that way the radiator's on solid. Just threw the air cleaner on, getting some of the pipe work figured out. There's a little bit difference too compared to the old one. This is 5-inch all the way through. The old one neck down to 4-inch into the turbo, so that's a little different. We also had a concern right off the bat when we got this truck was, is that air clean big enough to run a 600 horse engine? And went back and forth on that. I kept ordering a bunch of these. I kept saying they were larger and they'd show up and be the exact same size. And after just kind of giving up on that and realizing that Donaldson only made one size, there's some reason they were listed as larger on the larger air cleaners. On the internet, the research we've done, there's actually a number of trucks out there running that same air cleaner that are in that 600 horsepower range. So I think we'll be okay. We could check the vacuum. If for some reason we feel like we're lacking on air, we can try to figure something else. But most, the traditional Peterbilt 378s, 379s, even some of the 377s, I think of the earlier ones, have the air cleaner right here by the cab, and it comes out through the firewall right there and goes in. So I don't know if we're gonna quite go that far. I think for the kind of hauling we do, this should be fine, but we'll just have to check our temperatures, CGTs, and see if we're lacking air. On the bright side, though, I will say I do like this air cleaner better than the side mounts, because the side ones, all that dust just swirls along the side of the cab when you're on dirt roads. You're going, the wind's blowing one way, and it just sucks into those air cleaners. This is sucking out of the top of the hood up here, so you don't get that swirl effect of dust on the sides. You get clean air coming through unless you're trailing someone and the dust is blowing on you. So that's one benefit to having it come out of the top of the hood like that. I know Peterbilt was trying to simplify things, streamline things. That's why they went to the 377 design. Not the most desirable style of truck, but for what we're doing, it's going to be. And for what money we'll have into it, it'll be. And he'll get to drive it. Not him. That guy.
A little tricky to try to figure out how to mount the bracket that supports the radiator onto this side. I decided to do... Okay. Anyways, I decided to do a bracket from the alternator bracket over, and it's attached to the exhaust manifold bolts. I don't really like to do that, but I have no other place to put a nice bracket, and I don't want to do it in the water pump housing. I'd rather keep that alone. I don't think it's going to move. I think it's pretty stout. I welded on it quite a bit. Welds ain't pretty, but they stick. And then the other side was actually really easy and convenient. Just had to quickly make a bracket that will mount right on top of the intake here. And this is all a cast intake, like it's beefy, so I'm not concerned about it. And they already had bolt holes, so I made a bracket there. Weld on that bracket and do a couple things, and then cut this tube here to length because it's a little too long, and we are good to go. The fan is still fairly close to the radiator, but I think we have enough clearance to make it work. We will find out. Keyword. Find out. Or we remove the whole radiator, pull the fan off, and try to cut down the spacer just a little bit. But if you look here, there's not a whole lot of room. Like, I can barely put my finger between the harmonic balancer and the fan. Like, that's not even hardly a ½ inch. So anyways, it's close. But I think we're gonna be okay. It's looking good though. Okay, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of those. This tube came off the 378 Pete, the beater Peter, and I chopped up to make for this. And well, that looks nice. What is that? Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Hey, you guys want to see something cool? So when I was doing the driveline, I was trying to pound out the universal joints that were in it. Shaft. Universal joint. Yeah, it is. I didn't say nothing about the driveline or drive shaft. I said universal joint.
You did before that, though.
Oh, okay. You're right, I did. Never mind. Okay, I remember. Anyways, my arm started bleeding and a piece went and cut it, so I was like, okay, whatever. Well, I don't think it just cut it. I think it actually...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you can see it.
What is going on? Ow. 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 Ow.
It'll go. Just keep going. Yep, just keep going.
Come on.
Give it a couple. Yep. 30 more tries.
Come on.